Okay, Don Gifford was a professor of English here from during the 50s, 60s, and into the mid-80s. He finally retired and stayed on and served the college in a number of capacities. But he was also my mentor. I'm Roger Williams from Cleveland, Ohio, class of '63. And he changed my life along with the college, the setting of the college. We did have an honors course on his back porch where we did an incredible amount of work and stayed up real late once a week talking amongst ourselves with him. And that was an example of the tutorial kind of relationship. There were 6 of us, one of him. The tutorial mentoring kind of relationship that Williams tradition has held so highly since the days of Mark Hopkins. It was Gifford that encouraged me to take my first job in the publishing business, which led to a career in publishing, as he also encouraged others of us who went into publishing, among them Hendrick Smith, who became chief editor-in-chief of the New York Times, John Kiffner from my class, and many others. So the reason that I stopped by the Memory Project, in addition to trying to commemorate Don, is that I happened to be in the library today and looked across to Stetson Hall and recalled that in his incredibly busy life, in which he was always acquiring new knowledge, especially from the natural sciences, he led one of the Stetson Hall renovation projects in the 70s and devoted extra, inordinate amount of time to that. And at one time, Stetson was viewed, and probably still is today, as one of the state-of-the-art libraries in a state-of-the-art education state like the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So Gifford gave a lot, both during his so-called work hours and after hours to the college, and I wanted him to be remembered. The second thing, kind of funny thing that happened at our college reunion this week is that we were rained out of a dinner at the Clark Institute and on the lawn at the Clark Institute. A lot of things were rained out this week. But someone had the foresight to plan B was to meet in LaSalle Gymnasium. Well, many of you who I'm talking with will not remember LaSalle Gymnasium, the relic from the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s that has actually got a running track around the basketball court, jutting out onto the basketball court. Made it very difficult for a visiting team to win at LaSalle Gymnasium. And also the seats came within a foot of the court, or the sideline, and I understand that the Williams fans were not above putting their feet out on the floor now and then to impede one's progress, and so forth. But somehow, just as a matter of coincidence or timing, some of the basketball players from my class happened to come in the door at the same time last night, and we could not resist standing underneath one of the hoops and beginning to reminisce. And all of a sudden, somebody showed up with a camera and started to take a picture for us, and somebody else started to take a picture for us. Now, understand, this was an unusual freshman class, the class of '63, in that about 5 of us were 6'4" or over, and 3 of us were right around 6'7".
Wow.
And so while we were here, freshmen were not allowed to play, but while we were here, we won 110 games and lost 10. So it was very difficult to win if you were trying to come to Williamstown and play. And even today, we remember, we talked about it, we remember the last couple of minutes of the Amherst game, the one chance they had to beat us during those 4 years. But Mr. Voorhees, who was on our team, was not going to have any of it, and did a LeBron James thing right at the end into the game to seal the game, and off we walked off the court. So we enjoyed reminiscing about that. And before we knew it, there were like 20 cameras around, and including the college commemorative photographer. And so we look forward to, at least in our own homes, to receiving a copy of that picture. So that's my memory of this weekend.
Thank you.
Okay?